Directories are a super powerful authority indicator for AI search engines, SEO in general. So even just having a simple local directory that maybe doesn't get hardly any traffic, having a listing on there is still very valuable for local SEO because those types of sites are so few and far between. But we'll talk about that here in a second.
Welcome to the Level Up Your SaaS channel, your go-to hub for agencies and SaaS enthusiasts. If you're a marketer, agency, or entrepreneur looking for powerful tools, fresh ideas, and unfiltered hot takes, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive deep into HighLevel, one of my favorite platforms, along with partner interviews, new software releases, and expert insights to help you scale faster. As a longtime HighLevel user and affiliate, I bring you the inside scoop on what's working right now. What you'll learn here is how to use HighLevel to grow and automate your business, exclusive partner interviews and software demos, insider news, strategies, and tips to help scale your agency, and live case studies, real-world examples, and expert insights. All right, welcome everyone to another episode of the Level Up Your SaaS channel, where we talk all things high-level and agency life. Today, we have a very special guest with me, Tom from the Offline Sharks Facebook group is where I first met him. And then he recently did an interview session with the HighLevel crew about this awesome product that they have. And it's called Smart Directory. So we'll throw a link below. It's going to have an extended trial, so don't go to them specifically, but we'll have an extended 14-day trial versus just a normal 7-day trial. So I'm really excited to bring him on today. We'll talk about a variety of things like tips and tricks on sales, and I don't want to call it a trick, but strategy wise on how to grow and scale your agency, and then like why they came about with the Smart Directory for HighLevel. And I just love the product when I saw it, so I had to bring them on for everybody. Thanks again for coming on today, Tom.
Thanks so much for having me, Jenna. Excited to be here. Yeah, we call it a backdoor strategy. Like It's a really great, and that'll make sense as we kind of go into this. But, we did a special 2-day workshop for HighLevel Online, and then they actually invited me down to speak at the event in Dallas on this very topic. I think your community is going to love the different take we have on this. I call it like the new approach to the old directory, right? I don't know about, I've been doing things with directories since 2012. I know that kind of dates me a little, but I was living on Maui trying to get my agency off the ground. And I just found like prospecting was super duper hard. Like just getting someone's attention, just getting someone to talk to me so that I could tell them what I could do to help them was like pulling teeth. It's like you go to networking events or you reach out to people, and the minute you say like, oh, I'm a marketing agency, like you can just feel the invisible wall go up, right? And you're sending out emails and nobody's responding, and it's just such effort to get it going. And so I was looking for an easier way. I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. And I had this idea. I was doing this direct mail thing at the time that was getting a lot of traction. And I thought, man, if I had a directory site to go with this, I bet I could prospect with the directory site, and I could make some money with the directory site. And that was my initial thing. I know a lot of other people have had that idea. Oh, if I had this directory site, I could put businesses on it and I could make money from that. Here's what shifted this whole thing for me, though, was I started to build a directory site, and it was a real pain in the ass. Like all the different things I tried that would build directory sites, they were just super technical, super involved. I'm not a techie person. And they just took a lot of time. And I'm like, man, like I couldn't spend 6 months to a year building a directory site. Like I needed to be generating cash quickly. And so I was talking to a guy one time, and we started talking about AARP for some random reason. Okay. And this all makes sense in a second, Jen. I promise. So I don't know. What do you know about AARP, the website? Like, what do you think of AARP? Like when I mention it, what do you like? If I were to ask you, what do they do? What would you say?
They help senior citizens.
Right. Okay. Exactly what I thought. They're a resource for senior citizens, but they are actually an insurance company. They sell insurance to senior citizens.
Yeah.
So that website with all the senior citizen help stuff is just a sales tool. They use it to attract senior citizens and then they sell them their insurance. And I was like, oh my God, that is genius. Like the people are coming to them and it's just a type of lead magnet, but it's very different because you don't have to have a brand. You don't like it, just people will seek it out. And I thought, man, I wonder if I could do that with the directory site. Like if I
Mhm.
had this place that was like a resource, maybe people would just come to me. But then the same problem, I'm like, God, well, if I set this site up, how am I going to get traffic to it? Like, and again, my back was against the wall. I had been on unemployment and it had run out, and so I'm trying to like just get this thing going as fast as I can. And so then I had the thought, well, what if I just skip the traffic altogether?
Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Jenna Lettingham. This is my channel, Level Up Your SaaS, where we talk all things high level and agency related. I want to talk about our sponsor, HL Pro Tools. They've been a huge supporter of mine. I've learned so much from Matt and Graham over the years. So I'm so excited for this sponsorship for my channel. More trainings on what the benefits of HL Pro Tools are. They've done the best on onboarding and I've been so impressed. We could do customized onboardings with my clients. I can give feedbacks on what needs to be done on that specific onboarding and get all the recordings. And then they recently rolled out this new VA pod service, which I've been loving. What I love is that you can roll it out to all your sub accounts. And so now they're not just your SaaS customers, but you're also helping them do other things and your VAs are taking care of it. So shout out to them. Love what they put together. Highly recommend it. I got links below. It does not cost you anything extra. Let me know if you have any questions.
Meaning, instead of waiting for people to come to me, I'll just reach out to them. So, what I'll do is I'll add them to my directory site and then I'll just call them and I'll say, hey, I built this little local community resource website. Your business has a free listing, it's live right now. I just want to make sure that all your business information is correct. Do you have a couple minutes that we can go over it? And
Mhm.
when they would go over it and approve it at the end, I would just say something like, awesome. I'll send you a link to the listing so you can see it. I appreciate you confirming the info. By the way, when I was setting up your listing, I noticed that you don't have a Facebook page, or I noticed that your website is just under construction page, or whatever the service was that I wanted to sell.
Yeah.
Right. And I would say, hey, I could help you with that. Do you want to schedule a time to talk? And so that's how I was getting appointments. And the amazing thing was like all of the resistance just went away,
Mhm.
and people would go to the directory site. And because I had built this, I had put a site together that had maybe 75 local businesses on it. Like it looked active and good. And they had no idea of whether those 75 businesses were paying me or not paying me or clients or whatever, right? It just looked like a functioning little community site. And I looked like this guy that was just trying to help local businesses. I was on the island of Maui, so a really small community, right? And so that just took off. Like it was so easy to start those conversations and lead into whatever we were doing. That's what we did. Eventually we expanded that particular directory. We did a couple of different ones. We expanded that one into all of the Hawaiian Islands. During COVID, we did a directory of all the restaurants that were still doing delivery,
Mm.
and that did really well. So we've had some other ones over the years. So that's kind of how this approach came about. And we've sort of refined it, since then as times have changed and things have changed. And now with AI, like I think this approach is even more valuable today than it was then because
Mhm.
AI makes fulfillment easy.
Yeah.
The problem is not delivering services anymore. You and everybody on your block can do that. The
Mhm.
problem is going to be getting attention in the crowded marketplace, starting the conversation so you can even tell them what you have to offer. This is the best way we've found to do it. So before I show the site and talk a little bit about that, any questions or comments about that? I know I rambled on
No.
for a while, so I want to give you a chance to get in there.
Yeah, I think one thing that they do so uniquely well is, there's so many different ways to get leads for your agency. But so many times it's either at a free lead magnet or a loss leader. And whether that be like with your time or whatever. But this is a cool, like this is the reason why I love what they've put together is these leads are literally paying you to be leads. So stick around because this is literally the reason why I love this software. people are literally paying to be your leads. And this is what I think is genius about this.
Yeah, well, when you throw in the premium upgrades, which I'll talk about that here. Let me share my screen. Let me show
Yeah.
you one of my.
So I do know they do have a free listing option, but these like upgrades that they can do are just a no-brainer for a local business, in my opinion. Because one thing when you're talking to people to be able to do is to be able to have these backlinks where people can find them. I love this.
Yeah, well, and again, AI shifted this even more in favor of our directory site because
Mhm.
directories are a super powerful authority indicator for AI search engines and
Mhm.
for SEO in general. So even just having a simple local directory that maybe doesn't get hardly any traffic, having a listing on there is still very valuable for local SEO because those types of sites are so few and far between. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that here in a second because I think the mistake a lot of people make when they go to set up a directory site like this is, they have this idea that the directory site is going to be the thing that generates the money. And that may be the case in the long term. But for a directory site to really generate any significant amount of revenue, like you have to have a lot of traffic, you have to be able to charge a lot of money, and you have to have a pretty big team and probably target a pretty big area. And
Mhm.
so the way we've kind of flipped this on its head is our approach requires you to have zero traffic. You can start making money right away because what you're going to do is you're going to make money selling your AI services, your marketing services on the back end of this and use the directory as a foot in the door. So now, of course, over time, the directory will start to get traction. It'll start to get traffic, all of those things. But of all of the thousands of businesses I've ever talked to, because this is a question we get a lot from marketers. Every time I talk to a marketer and I say, look, you just build this, and I reach out and tell them they have a free listing, and then I sell them marketing services. They go, well, what do you say if they ask how much traffic your site gets? Well, of all the thousands of businesses I've talked to, absolutely zero business owners have ever asked me how much traffic my site gets. The
Yeah.
only people that have ever asked me that are marketers. Now, here's why the business owners never ask. Because number one, I tell them it's new. I tell them up front, I just started this site. I'm just trying to get traction with it. I gave you a free listing, plus the listing is free, right? Now, if I went to them and was like, hey, I have this directory site and it's $500 a month, of course they would be like, how much traffic does it get? And that would make sense. But because this is free, they don't ever ask that question.
Mhm.
And they're just happy to have a listing on there and want to make sure that all of their information is correct, right? So, what you're looking at right here is a base install of Smart Directory AI. So, I set this site up in about, I think I did this particular one live on a training call in about 15 minutes. So, here is how I was able to do that. Number one, this site is built inside HighLevel. So, what we did, because HighLevel doesn't have the ability to build a directory site, and most directory platforms that you'll see out there, they're very tech heavy. It just takes a lot to learn them and learn the tech and all that. And so we needed something that we could set up, that we could deploy quickly, so we could start prospecting as fast as possible and start generating that back end revenue. So
Mhm.
Smart Directory AI is the result of that. Smart Directory AI is actually an app that installs directly inside your HighLevel sub account. You'll see here, I've set up a sub account for Vegas Thrive Directory. And down here at the bottom, you see I have this tab for Smart Directory AI. The setup process, I think in our members area, we have 4 videos. It's under 40 minutes. It's literally like install the snapshot and create a sub account, install the app, and boom, all the demo content is there. And then it's just a matter of, kind of customizing it the way you want and then replacing the demo content with some actual businesses. And one of the things that we do for new members is we give them a list of 100 businesses. So they tell us what businesses they want on the directory. We build the list for them. That way you can just upload it inside of HighLevel. And the way that you make a business a listing is you just add them as a contact in your HighLevel account. So like you see these businesses right here, Alpha Plumbing, Impact Plumbing. So these are businesses that I pulled in using the HighLevel prospecting tool.
Cool.
Okay. The free version. So once you have a contact in your HighLevel account, or you upload a contact or however you want to do it, as long as they're a contact in here, The way that we can give them a listing on this site is, well, first let's make sure Alpha Plumbing isn't on here. So, oh, Alpha Plumbing is already on here. I saw that one. Where is it at? We'll do Hips Plumbing. I don't think Hips Plumbing is on here. I just want to demo this real quick. Yeah, you can see Hips Plumbing is not on here. All I do to make this, to give this business a listing on my site, is I just select them, and I can do multiple, one, however many, and I go up here and I simply add a tag. Oop, I'm going to call this biz tag. This tag that's called business. Okay. Once I do that, that instantly gives that business a listing on my directory site. So if we go back here, sometimes it takes a minute for that to get created, but let's see if it's here yet. Oh, no, not yet. We'll have to wait while it all kind of processes in the background. But once that business is on here, so, oh, wait, did it get added? Let's look. Sometimes, you know, HighLevel, you got to refresh things.
That's true.
Okay, so there's the business tag, right? Yep. So now this business tag is added. So now they will have a listing on my directory site. And let's see, I'm going to refresh this again just to be safe. There it is.
Hips Plumbing.
Hips Plumbing. It instantly created this very basic free listing, right? Now, obviously this doesn't look great, and that is strategic because we really want people to come in and claim their listings and get images added here. And we also have an upgrade that we can offer them to make this look better. This, for instance, that's just a basic free listing. Here you'll see this is a premium listing with more pictures, and there's business hours and reviews. This will even pull in their Google reviews and things like that. That's how easy it is to add a site. And then we have automations set up on the back end so that when you add a business like that, you can run them through an email automation that will reach out and say, hey, you've been added to the Vegas Thrive directory. Make sure your information is correct. Please go here, claim the listing so you can secure it, make any edits you need. And then there's also it'll run them through an automation to sell them a premium package upgrade. So you actually have the ability in the software to control all of this. You can have 2, 4, 6, however many plans you want, but you get to create and decide what is in every plan. So we typically just give them 2 options, a free and a paid. I like doing the annual because I don't want to deal with monthly payments and all that stuff.
Right.
But you can charge monthly as well. And so you may be watching this and thinking, well, Tom, I get it. They get a free listing. That's why they don't ask about traffic. But why would somebody pay you $250 if you tell them the site is new and that it really doesn't get any traffic? Like, why would they pay this? Well, the reason they pay this is because we make the directory features secondary, and we give them very real, tangible things along with it. So it's not just about, hey, you get an upgraded listing with more pictures and business hours and all those things. It's also about these things that you see down here. Look, you get an online visibility report, a $99 value. So this, of course, is the HighLevel prospecting tool report, right? We create a 30-second custom video for them. That's a $299 value. We use a Canva template for that. Super, super easy. Nothing technical. We create 1 blog post per month for them, $75 value. And then you can even add in more things here like Google Maps optimization. So basically, like all of the things they get, the custom video, the visibility report, the Google business profile optimization, those things could be $700, $800 in real world value. And we're only charging $250. Like they pay that to get those things, not necessarily to have it's just like gravy on top that they get all this added stuff in the directory. Cause they're like, well, I mean, the average person, the average business owner will look at that and go, well, man, I need these other things done. And it's only $250. And I mean, even if I just get 1 lead, or even if I don't get any, it's still worth it. Right. So that's how we get around that. And so on the back end of all this, there's automations and things that run people through that, and you get them to upgrade and things like that without your direct involvement. The kind of whole point of this is like, you want to drop a lead list in and let the automations on the back end sift out everyone. Even just the tiniest reply is like super powerful. So one of the things we do is when we add a business and the first email goes out, there's no links in that email, right? Which makes our deliverability super high.
Right.
And so all they can do is reply and say, yes, my business information is correct, or no, here's the correct information. Even when somebody just makes that simple little act of, yes, that's correct. Like, we've just cracked like the stone wall between you and that person becoming a client, right? Because now we can respond back and say, awesome, thanks for confirming. Here's a link to the listing. By the way, I noticed you don't have an AI chat agent on your website, right? Like, I could help you with that. We're running a special right now. And in the emails, we also put in the footer like that this site is built by whatever the name of your agency is. So they're connected, right? Because some people wonder, well, isn't it weird if I'm reaching out from the directory and then I have an agency? No, because you just say, look, I actually run a marketing agency. That's my other business. I built this just to help small businesses. This is an initiative of my marketing agency. Now, if you need help on the back end, we can do that. So that process works like gangbusters. Any questions about that, or anything you think I should go into a little more detail on?
No, I don't think we need to get in so much the nitty gritty. I love how you guys have set this up. I love how easy it is. Literally running a lot of things just by tagging and importing. Now, if somebody's not an agency, and I know that's the primary focus of who this is for, like, because I know you could actually resell this to your clients too. But if somebody that's watching this, like, just wants to launch their own directory and they're maybe not an agency, that's an option too, right?
Yeah, and I think like you just have to have a clear idea of what you're trying to do with the directory, right? So, these little local resources can be super valuable, right? Like, if you don't want to sell marketing services on the back end, that's fine. I mean, you could build a list and send them, other offers, or I mean, if you build a good email list, you can actually charge businesses to send emails about their business, right? Like, one of the things that we like to do with our directory is, we not only add free listings, but a lot of our members will create a Facebook group along with the directory, and they'll do like local business spotlights where they interview local business owners, and like eventually you can charge for that stuff. If you're a great writer, you could write reviews of restaurants. Like, there's all kinds of things you could do to bring value on there. Now, one thing, I'll show you just a couple things in the back end. So this is the Smart Directory AI dashboard. So you'll see on here, like when you click on businesses, you can see all the accounts, your premiums, your frees. These are claim requests. So these are businesses that have gone through the email sequence and they want to claim their business. I can see them all here. New business as if someone adds their business without your direct involvement. I'm not going to go into business tags there, but you can look at all the different types of businesses. It's really easy to make a business a premium. All you do is, like, if I wanted to make this Hungry Hipster Cafe a premium listing, all I have to do is toggle this on and select a plan. By the way, this integrates with Stripe, or you can use a custom payment link, but you just toggle that on, select your plan, boom, they're a premium listing. You have the ability to, approve or reject the claim requests. And then submissions. These are things like blogs, jobs. So it has the ability to post events, news articles, jobs if people are looking for that, blog. So this is when your businesses submit those things, you have the ability to go in here and look at them and approve them.
Very cool. So the blogs that you guys are creating on the premium accounts, are they on here, or because I assume they're not on their websites?
Right, they're on here. So,
Cool.
oh, you mean for the upgrade?
Yes.
So I will usually give them the option, and sometimes as like a sweetener, I'll say, look, we'll post one blog a month to your listing, and I'll give you a version that you can post on your blog as well.
Yeah.
So that way they get kind of like a two for deal.
Yeah.
And we just use AI to create those. So,
Right.
and get the content from them. But yeah, this is, I don't think I have the blogs. maybe I do down here. So if you want to see like what a blog post looks like, this is kind of what a blog post looks like on the site.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the feed in the bottom, and then the news articles, events, all that stuff as well. I'm trying to think of what else.
Events wise, is that through like an actual calendar, or how's that looking on the back?
It looks like a kind of like a similar to a blog post. So this is when they go to the
Love
page,
it.
this is what they see.
Yeah.
Right. And then they can view the details and they can mark whether they're going or not going and those types of things as well.
Cool.
And then of course the site itself is very customizable. So we have a couple of things coming. So we're getting pretty close to having and not like a different theme, but a different type of directory.
Okay.
So some people want business directories.
Yeah.
Some people want a directory of individuals. So
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
you want to do like a CPA directory and like you just want to list all the well. So we have a new directory what type that will be for that type of directory. So eventually you're going to see probably 4 to 5 different types of directories. So
Mhm.
when you sign up for a smart directory, you'll be like, well, do I want a business directory? Do I want a real estate directory? Do I want a person directory? Or do I want an affiliate directory? And you'll
Mhm.
just pick the one you want. And then that is all set up to do what you need to do for that particular model, right? Inside the theme itself, you can see it's easy to customize the colors, the logos, the domain, the pages. This, you can add custom pages. You can create them in HighLevel and add them to your directory. Categories, subcategories, these are all menu type things. Here's the header menu. Very easy to turn these things on, off, all that stuff as well. So, the customizing the site, like it's not, a lot of this, I guess it's customizable enough to the point that it's easy to make it look the way you want so that you can start prospecting again, right?
Yeah.
The goal is not to be building a custom site. Now, in the newer versions that we're going to be roll out, we are building in a lot more customization to the base theme so people can do more and more of the things they want. The last thing I want to show you on here is this is the plans. This is like the premium and the free plans. And you can see it's really easy. You just click add plan and you can give the plan a description and it makes me do this. And then you can you can set the currency. There's all the different ones that we work with.
Mhm.
And then you can set your price. So I'm just going to say 0. Actually, let's just say $99 a month. And then you go next. And then you can see you have the ability to edit these and name them whatever you want. You have the ability to turn them on. So this is what will show in this plan. Anything that's turned on, I can move them up and down. I can customize the order, the names, all of that stuff. And then you can even offer a trial period if you want. And then you can add your own advanced add-ons in here as well. So these are the things like the online visibility report. I just created those here by clicking this button. So super easy to do there as well. And then of course it integrates with Stripe. It integrates with Google Maps and Google Analytics. This is an AI thing that I'll talk about here in a second, but you can see all that in the back end. And of course we have a members area with videos of me going through all this and showing how to do it, and a very active private school community of members in there too. Any questions so far on that?
No, I think that's perfect. And again, I want to emphasize like how easy this is. I've tried, doing things through WordPress, and then you have to worry about the WordPress hosting and maintenance. So I just love that this is not only integrated with HighLevel, but just really simple and turnkey. It's not something you need to go and like learn the back end or hire somebody else to do it for you. And when you're getting started or you're growing another side of your business, I think this is just such a cool way to do it.
Yeah. And, look, here's so this is just kind of a little, I actually created this site in a training, and it's really funny because like I made this site in a training. I didn't even have a picture of Las Vegas. Like it was just the base theme. And I added like 9 Vegas businesses to the automation, and like I got a lead. Like somebody replied the next day. They were like, "Oh, that's not the right information. Please change it." Even though I was just like, that wasn't even what I was trying to do, right? Like
I
I
love
was
that.
just demoing it on a video. But what's nice is like whenever people respond, like you see all of that in your conversations tab,
Yeah.
right inside HighLevel. But one other thing I wanted to show you, because this is just kind of a demo site I use in trainings and things like that, and that the other day I was like, oh, you know what? We'll probably start building this out for the Vegas area. But
Yeah.
here's one that a member built in Hawaii. You can see how great this site looks. Here's one that is focused on home service providers in Ohio. So this is a great use of this, like
Hmm.
making a site specifically for those types. Here's one that is in, where is this? The Gold Coast,
Mm.
right? And so you can see how great these look. And then if you're not interested in doing a business directory, this is a member that made hers around virtual assistants,
Yeah,
hiring
perfect.
virtual assistants, but like this is the same base theme as well. So
Hmm.
you can see these all look, I mean, they look similar, but they're also have their own look. So
Right.
that's a lot of the customization type things that you can do in here. And then one other thing I'll show you here is like if you go into, our Facebook group, you can do this too, but even in the school group, you'll see a lot of people posting wins. And again, they're using the directory to sell things like local SEO, AI agents, AI social media posting, all of those
Hmm.
kind of base services right in here. Lots of great results and things like that with it as well.
Any other last minute sales or high level advice that you want to give to everybody now that you've been using high level for a long time and coaching other agencies for, oh geez, a long time, even before high
Yeah.
level was around?
Yes, yeah. So I think like the biggest thing I would say is I know AI is bright, shiny, and there's a lot of hype around it.
Hmm.
But I have seen several things come and go in my career in the digital space, and it's always the foundation stuff that prevails,
Hmm.
regardless of what the tech innovations of the time are.
Yeah.
So focus on like there's so many people out there just learning every AI tool that comes along. But what are they not doing? They're not prospecting.
Hmm.
Like first and foremost, you should get your prospecting machine up and running.
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, now play with all the tools you want, but we need something that's generating activity that
Hmm.
allows us to actually close the deal. And I know the dream of AI is that it's going to do that, but I don't think that is going to be the case. It's still going to require you to have an effective way to get attention, have simple conversations, and really be able to get people to listen to how you can help them. Because you can have the best services in the world, but if you can't tell anybody about them, right? Like you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
And so a good example of that, I think, in the AI realm is, the dream of voice AI outbound dialing, where everybody's, oh my gosh, like I just want an AI to call and make all the sales for me. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. First, you're going to
Yeah.
need to get permission before you can have it dial, which
Yeah.
is going to be really hard for most people. We build it into the directory. So when they claim their listing, it gives us permission to AI dial them. So we actually have an AI outbound agent that calls once they claim their listing. And we have an AI agent on the front end where they can add their business, claim their listing. This will sell them the premium upgrade, book strategy sessions, all that stuff as well. So using tools in that way as part of your prospecting process, I think will be the key. Not if you think you're going to be able to rely on them to do all of it for you, that is just not going to pan out to be the case.
Hmm. Love that. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Is there any things you want to add before we get off here on roadmap or maybe frequently asked questions that you guys get?
Yeah. So a couple of things. One is if you want to test it out, we worked out a special deal for Jenna and her community. So normally we just do a 7-day free trial, but we gave her a 14-day free trial. You can go to levelupyoursaas.com/smart directory and sign up for that. When you sign up for the 14-day trial, you get immediate access to everything. So our team will build your list of your first 100 businesses to add. We've got, the school group, all of that stuff to support to help you. But you can actually get one of these directories. I mean, it's pretty typical to see people get these things set up in 48, 72 hours and get out there and get prospecting. And what's great is with the automations, you can just let this kind of run in the background. So if you have a job, like imagine just loading the list in on a Monday, letting the directory do its thing, and then you're only talking to the people that are answering. Like it's
Hmm.
a whole different ball game when it comes to prospecting than trying to force those conversations and all that stuff. So my advice to you out there, if you're, struggling to generate clients or income with HighLevel, it's probably because your prospecting system is broken. You're not having actual conversations. You're not having conversations with people that can actually turn into clients.
Mm-hmm.
And so your number one priority should be fixing that. Now, whether you use Smart Directory AI or not, I don't really care. What I really care about is you just fixing that. Like, just start having those conversations and closing those deals.
Yeah. And one thing that, just to kind of compound on that, Tom, is that Mike Schmidt has taught me over the years. So shout out to Mike, is a feed fish method of like, if you're out in Facebook groups, don't be spammy, but that's where I do get a lot of my clients, is like local Facebook groups, but I like help in a way that isn't spammy. So I try to educate like several times. I do 3 to 4 educational posts, and then I'll talk about, this is what I do and who I serve. And if you want to come talk to me, this is how to do it. So that's kind of like the cadence I recommend too, if you're just kind of trying to get this prospecting off the ground for yourself. Again, it's kind of like a 3 to 4 post scenario, and then you're finally asking for some sort of sale. But get yourself visible online, make yourself look attractive. I think a lot of people in the agency space get this backwards. So you don't need to have a perfect website. You just need to go out there and make some sales and make yourself visible. So that wraps up today's episode. Again, it's levelupyourSaaS.com/smart directory. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments below, and Tom and I will get them answered. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks for coming on, Tom.
Thanks for having me, Jenna.
Thank you.
And that's it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful and some actionable insights to grow your business. If you want more tips, tools, and strategies to scale your business and marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and drop a comment below.